Now I finally own a bottle of this. I'm really happy to finally bring a review for it. It's a fragrance that I reviewed one of the flankers for a few weeks ago, I think it was. Might have just been last week, now that I think about it. But it's a fragrance that I love very much, and it's been in my collection for quite a while, and that is, of course, Drakkar Noir. And it's a great fragrance from the house of Laroche. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the newest flanker. Well, we'll talk about what it's actually a flanker of in a minute. We're going to be talking about Drakkar Intense. So, like I said before, I'm finally happy to get my hands on a bottle of this. I was able to get this on eBay for £25. I think it was £24.95. It's a 100ml bottle, and as you guys can see, this comes in an eau de parfum concentration, whereas Drakkar Noir is an eau de toilette. Now, in case you guys are thinking, is this a flanker of Drakkar Noir? No. Technically, Drakkar Noir is a flanker itself. It's a flanker of a fragrance called Drakkar that came out in 1971. And that fragrance, it wasn't released for very long. It didn't really get the best sales. It was popular when it first came out, but, you know, people were more into wearing Chanel Pour Monsieur, Eau Sauvage at the time. And it didn't really do well because it just wasn't pushed in the right direction for people to smell at that time. Whereas here we are in 2022 and we have Drakkar Intense. I'm going to open it and show you guys what it looks like. I don't know who designed this fragrance. There isn't actually a perfumer listed, but if you guys have any information on who might have designed this fragrance, do let me know in the comments, please. So, of course, this is what the box looks like. We get some information on the back. Now, here we have, of course, the bottle for Drakkar Noir. This is the bottle for Drakkar Intense. So, of course, this is a 50ml. I've never owned a bigger bottle for Drakkar Noir. This is a big bottle, obviously. This is the 100ml. It's of course, the same design. We get the same patterns on the top, which I'm guessing is the Drakkar logo, if you like, or symbol. Drakkar Intense, we get Eau de Parfum, Natural Spray, Laroche Paris. But the colour of this juice, guys, is stunning. It's literally... reminds me a little bit of Jovan Musk. It's that similar type of orange sort of colour to it. But really, really nice. Although the atomizer itself doesn't really look the best. But, of course, for Drakkar Noir, it's exactly the same. So it's that dated looking, kind of cheap atomizer. I don't know why they haven't updated their atomizers, Laroche. It seems a bit strange. But here we go. Now, of course, I have already smelled this. I sprayed it on my hand there. The dry down is there, but we will be spraying it again. Here we go. I'll talk about the notes and that as the fragrance dries down. So I'm going to put the notes on the screen and we'll talk about what I really get out of this. So the overall feel of the fragrance straight away when I first sprayed this is very pleasing, in all fairness. It's a very pleasing scent, although with it being released this year, it actually has a bit of an old-fashioned perfumery type of smell to it. I actually own a fragrance called Horizon, which comes from the same company, and that one came out, I believe, in 1993, same year as I was born. And that fragrance has, of course, that old school character to it. Of course, that is a more marine aromatic, whereas this one is more amber aromatic. And it does have that similar old-fashioned type of smell in which Horizon also has as well. If you guys have ever smelled Horizon, it's discontinued now, but I'm very, very lucky to have it in my collection. I love it very much. This one, to me, okay, what I get straight away is it's without a doubt a very, from first impressions, a very nice, pleasing smell. That's literally what I get from this. The quicker it dries down, I do think it gets better. Very different. Very different from smelling it in the opening to the dry down. Now, let's talk about the notes here. So the top notes are wormwood, bergamot, rosemary, and coriander. The middle notes are lavender, clary sage, and juniper berries, whereas in the base we get patchouli, suede, lavender again, and moss. So, looking at the notes straight away, very aromatic, fresh, spicy, woody, green, earthy type of scent, with, I suppose, a kind of ambery vibe to it. Even though it doesn't list it, the fragrance as having amber in it, there is certainly an amber quality to this scent. So straight away, what I'm getting out of this is a smell that is actually quite similar to Drakkar Noir, but it's done in a more modern way. So what I mean by that is, I mean the bergamot in the opening creates a little bit of a citrus. There's definitely a lavender feel with this as well. Wormwood also, creating kind of like a herbaceous, woody feel. And without a doubt, there is definitely a suede. Like, suede's one of those notes that is kind of, to me, it's very much like a cashmere. And it's like a soft cotton type of smell. Like a soft cotton blanket kind of fragrance. And it works very, very well in this. I think the more the fragrance dries down, the better it gets. But another thing that I find really intriguing about Drakkar Intense is there is also a boozy character to it. Now, there isn't any notes in this that would create a booziness, if you like. There's actually nothing like that. So there's no like liqueur notes or anything like that. This doesn't have a whiskey or a rum. But there is certainly a smell that reminds you of a liqueur in this fragrance, although it's very toned down, and I get slight similarities to Zara Pour Rum Intense with the whole rum type of smell that has, although that is definitely more stronger, whereas this one is, like I said, toned down, very soft. I actually like this. I think it's really nice. It doesn't smell completely original, I will say that. It doesn't have like an outstanding smell to the point where you're like, wow, this is literally like nothing else. It does have a bit of a generic side to it. I also think that it's definitely more of an eau de toilette rather than an eau de parfum. Because of the fact that when I sprayed it before, it doesn't have this... It doesn't quite have a pure smell to it like a lot of other eau de parfums do have. This is sitting quite close to the skin like a pretty standard eau de toilette in today's day and age. I like the opening because of the fact that there is a bit of a citrusy smell going on with, of course, that lavender. There is also a moss. I do get this mossy smell, especially on the dry down. It very much smells very earthy. There is a lavender, like I said before as well, although with it being mentioned twice, I believe in the mid and the base, it doesn't smell as strong as I was expecting it to be. I was actually expecting this to be a lavender bomb, but it's actually really not. It's very much a soft, sweet fougere amber sort of fragrance. And I think the amber quality that I'm getting is from that suede in the dry down, because it does smell quite shiny, although it is very soft. Very, very nice. Even though it does smell quite similar to Drakkar Noir, it is completely different. Yeah, Drakkar Noir is a little bit more lemon verbena, lavender, moss, slightly patchouli-esque type of blend, whereas the Drakkar Intense, without a doubt, is definitely more suited to that wormwood, lavender, again, which Drakkar Noir does have. But this again goes into that woody, soft blanket, ambery, moss sort of fragrance. I think it's a really nice scent, in all fairness. Do I think it's the best fragrance I've ever smelled? Definitely not. I haven't actually found a fragrance that has really blown me away as of yet. Maybe in the next few years, perfumery might evolve, who knows. But for the price I've paid, $24.95 I think it was, for this 100ml, I'm actually very impressed. I'm really impressed by it. The price tag was, of course, appealing, but the smell itself right now is really nice. Really, really nice. Of course, the whole theme of this version is orange and black, whereas with Drakkar Noir, it was red and black. So, yeah, there are big differences. I can't say that I would do a Drakkar Intense versus Drakkar Noir, because they're both completely different fragrances to me. A lot of people out there might disagree, but to me, they are completely different, in my opinion. I think, to a level degree, this one had to smell a little bit similar to Drakkar Noir so that it would appeal to people who do like Drakkar Noir. But other than that, this is still a very, very nice fragrance. Yeah, it's definitely got an old school vibe to it, without a doubt. but it works, you know what I mean? Like, it really does work. Juniper Berries is also a smell I'm getting right now. Very strong juniper, with again this booziness, which I don't know where it's coming from, but it's all about that suede. There's a suede lavender type of smell coming through. Pretty much the notes that I've read out. If you go on FragranceMatt, you can look at the notes yourself. They actually blend really well together, in all fairness. I actually like it because it actually does, even though I did say even though it does have a generic smell to it, it's still very nice, and I do enjoy it. It's nice. It's really nice. And when I bought this, I actually received these. In case you guys can't see because of the brightness of the window right now. These are just little softening bath oils that I received for free. They're for a fragrance called Intrusion by Oscar de la Renta. I'll not be using these because these are obviously females. Don't know why they've sent me female samples. But whatever. I'll probably give these to my girlfriend or my mom to use in the bath if they want to use it. But yeah, it's a really nice fragrance. Longevity and sillage. Now this is the next part of the review I want to really talk about, because with it being an eau de parfum, it doesn't, to me, last like an eau de parfum truly should. And I mean, this is Laroche, you know, they're a pretty popular designer house, although they don't release anything new. If anything, you know, the Drakkar name, it's a huge selling point for the company of Laroche. You know, from, of course, the original being released back in 1971 to then release Drakkar Noir in 1981. It might not have been 71, it might have been 73, forgive me, but 81 was when Drakkar Noir came out, and this is definitely by far their biggest flanker of Drakkar. And it is just, it's insane. It's so beautiful. How's that? But we already have done a review on this. If you guys want to see the review, I'll leave it in the description of this video. Very different. Completely different. Done a good job with this. I think, you know, it does have similarities to Drakkar Noir, only ever so slightly, but it does go in its own direction of smelling pretty good. Although it's not original enough for me. I don't think I'll be wearing this an awful lot. I'll probably wear this maybe for a few dates or meals out with my girlfriend. Other than that, I don't think it's really going to be a staple in my collection. I can see this, to be honest, I can see this going quite cheap soon. I mean, it's already cheap. £24 I paid for this 100ml. The prices might go up, then they might come down. It might be one of those fragrances that, you know, it'll be up and down in terms of price, but you never know, it might be discontinued eventually. And if you guys can snag a bottle of this, I think it's worth it. You have to really be into the whole Drakkar Noir. If you love Drakkar Noir, then I think it's going to give you a good enough reason to buy this. If you're into classic fragrances, you might actually like this as well, because it does have a bit of a classic edge to it. But again, you've really got to be into Drakkar Noir to like this. You know, I still find it strange how you can't actually buy the original Drakkar from the 70s, yet the flanker for that, Drakkar Noir, was actually more famous. It's very, very bizarre. But it just goes to show you, Drakkar Noir is a classic fragrance from 1981, and it's still loved even today. And this version right here, I can see it becoming quite popular. Although I think it's going to be a 50-50 fragrance. I think it's going to be popular still, although people will like it, some people won't. It's one of those fragrances, but I do like it. I do actually like it. I just don't think it's going to be something I'm going to wear a lot. I mean, my collection is already huge as it is, so I do have fragrances that I do prefer wearing. Although I will give this a chance. I'll wear it a few more times, see what I think. It's nice. It is nice. So yeah, that's the end of my review, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. It has been, of course, for the long-awaited fragrance that I've wanted this for weeks now. I've looked online and it just hasn't been for sale. Although I was able to get this a few days ago, and I'm just really, really happy to finally have it. So I'm glad to finally bring a review for it as well. So thanks all so much for watching my review for this. It's very, very nice. So yeah, guys, that's the end of the review. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll be bringing you guys a new review probably in the next few days. Stay tuned. I say next few days. I don't actually know when I'm going to bring a review. Sometimes I can be really unexpected with my uploads. But the fact that you guys like to stay around and watch me is just awesome. So yeah. Thank you all so much for watching my review for Laroche's Drakkar Intense. Really means a lot. Keep smelling good. and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.